Romans 13:4-6 says, "For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. For this cause pay ye tribute also. For they are God's ministers, attending continually upon this very thing." Saturday, June 6th, 2026, is the 82nd anniversary of D-Day. On June 6, 1944, Allied forces by land, air, and sea from the United States, the United Kingdom of England and Northern Ireland, and 12 other nations launched Operation Overlord, the largest amphibious invasion in human history. Just after midnight that day, more than 24,000 American troops were dropped by parachute behind enemy lines to destroy enemy infrastructure, to secure bridges, and to slow the influx of Nazi German reinforcements when, at dawn, around 156,000 Allied troops landed on the coast of Normandy, France, carried by more than 5,000 ships and landing craft. This invasion is something that no one that didn't participate in can even imagine. I don't pretend to even understand what it was like. The experience would have left most of us in shock. But these men demonstrated strength and courage beyond imagination. And by the time the sun was setting that night and night began to fall, the invasion had succeeded in gaining a foothold on the beaches of Normandy. Weather and rough seas and a vicious German counteroffensive kept the Allied forces from fully achieving those first-day objectives, but the persistent and sacrificial fighting by these men and what they did accomplish was a devastating blow to German morale and operations. More than 4,000 had died, another 6,000 were seriously injured but survived. I'm ashamed to say that I never really appreciated what happened on D-Day until I was in my 20s, and I took notice and began to really think about what so many Americans have gone through to defend the freedoms that we enjoy and take for granted right here and right now in America. And there are some pathetically ignorant preachers and Christians, and that includes also cults, who denounce any attempt to honor these men or to honor the fallen on Memorial Day or to honor military veterans every November 11th on Veterans Day. But our text is just one of several that make it clear that there is a time and place for honoring those who fight our battles and protect us from evil men, armies, and governments. We're told to honor the leaders and those who follow orders to protect us from criminals and alien invaders, to honor those who fight the enemy to keep the enemy from invading our homeland. For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. And with that underlying respect that we're told to have for those who do God's work in executing wrath upon those that do evil, we are then told, For this cause pay ye tribute also, for they are God's ministers, attending continually upon this very thing. And that is exactly what we're going to do and are doing as we take time to remember, take time to say a prayer of thanks and a prayer for God's mercy and personal salvation for any of the few from that generation that remain with us. We honor the fighting men and all those men and women who played supporting roles, as well as the great Americans and allies who were back home sacrificing and praying for these ministers of God who invaded the shores of Normandy, France, 82 years ago this June 6th, laying down their lives for the sake of God and country. May God bless their memory and all who belong to Jesus and are with him at this very moment. Amen.